Here is somebody did the breakdown of the schedule, which is just all the scenes that are in the film, and put them in a schedule, but we're dealing with a couple of issues with regards to budget and feasibility of getting certain sets ready on time.
A shooting schedule is really the backbone of the logistics of the production, because it really lays out where we're going to be when. And a lot of thought needs to go into this shooting schedule so that you're not doubling back or going to certain different locations. I mean, you take a lot into consideration when you're figuring out your shooting schedule.
It's really wise to ask a couple of people who have shot some stuff before, who can help you organize your shooting schedule and tell you why it is that they're going to put this at the first of the schedule and that at the end of the schedule and this in the middle.
The art department, needs to decorate the turkey courtyard, which is huge. And so we need to give them as much time as possible. Now, if we do that early in the schedule, that means they have to bring people in for prep, and then they have to, then they'll be in for the run of the shoot. Whereas if we can put it at the end of the schedule, we can have them working during the schedule to prep those that set while other scenes are being shot that don't need as much dressing. So it'll help us shave off some days, which are man days. So, and that saves money.
So we're cutting back on your prep days to slide you in. So we're updating it constantly.
So we went from 107 to on the labor manpower.
Yeah.
To what? Do you know the final
well,
total?
After we figured all of this out, you're probably down to about 90 days now.
Okay, I can. 90 days isn't.
90 days?
90 days.
For my
total,
whole
for
entire crew.
Her entire crew. And that
Everyone
includes,
together.
the prep and just shifting. I don't care how she does it after that.
90 days.
Yeah, about 90 days. I cut almost 20 days out of there.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well,
because if we do it that way, and we shoot it that way, you shouldn't have to have that much of a lead time.
No, yeah, it's absolutely true. But maybe still a little bit of a lead time.
Well, we'll take a look
like maybe
at
a day
it.
or two.
Maybe like a couple hours or something.
Sure.
Come on.
A couple hours, 20 minutes.
So, yeah,
do
it.
it.
So,
no worries.
If your shooting schedule has been done properly and effectively, and everything's been taken into account, you really don't notice anything about the schedule. Everything seems to run smoothly, and you've taken into consideration all the elements. And if you do it right, and you take into consideration all those elements, from locations to hair to makeup to wardrobe to transportation to cinematography, every department you've considered, and if all those elements have been taken into account with the schedule, then it runs smoothly and you don't even notice it.
In preparing the shooting schedule, what we would do is we'd sit down with Chet and with Fletch as a producer and a director, and we would go over what we have to accomplish in a certain amount of time.
I think you've got a couple of angles that you can do, and it's going to be so fast you pick one, and that's what you should do. I don't think you can need...
You don't think you'd cut into it?
Dude, it's like 4 steps, and he's
So
done.
like, it's going to be like 1, 2, 3, and he's out.
Right. I agree.
So I think you're just you're setting up another camera angle when you could probably get a tight and a close, or a tight and a wide. We have 2 cameras. So
with the 2 cameras, can we?
Yeah.
Can we? Okay.
We had 2 scenes outside this Liberty ship we were shooting down in Long Beach. So we had to decide how long it's going to take to shoot those scenes down in the belly of the ship, which is the interrogation scene, and how long it was going to take to shoot the exterior portions of the ship, which basically would be the main character arriving to Turkey off of a ship, and then at the very end when the guy gets taken away in the middle of the night, and that was on the dock as well. So we would go in, we would decide, break down the scenes, and kind of figure out how much time it was going to take for each scene, and put that into a schedule of saying it's going to take us this many days to shoot these scenes inside the boat and this many days to shoot the exterior of the boat, both night and day.
Yeah.
Pakistan is a
Let me
smaller
see.
build than the courtyard.
Yard.
Oh, Pakistan's gonna be like
Quick.
Well, that's why you should do Pakistan first.
Yeah, we can, you know.
Because you do Pakistan first, and then you go into Turkey, because the Turkey's the big build, and then you have to end in Turkey for the action sequence, which is at nighttime.
Okay.
But
So
that's up to.
and then okay, so just as it stands now, it's Hills, Hills, Turkey City. All Fridays, all interiors. Is that?
Well, once we go into the hangar, it's all interior.
Oh, but Turkey City, all these courtyard things, that includes for his house, everything.
Yeah.
Everything else interior. Okay, so all of
Well,
Turkey.
Well, we'll see. We worked on.
Oh,
that
because you
today.
need as much time to build the ship, is what you're
Right.
saying. We were just at a location on Friday, where we found the ship. Hopefully, we can lock the location. If we can, that set doesn't need any dressing, whereas we were going to be building that ship set. So now we have a savings of actual materials to build that ship and the man days that it was going to take to build that ship. So now that it's a practical and we don't hardly need anything, we'll put that at the beginning of the schedule so that everyone, all the art department can be working on these other sets prior to us getting there. So Danielle doesn't know yet, but she has a prop master and a set decorator. That person's going to become one, so that we'll only have one art department person on the set, representing the set, the props, and the set decoration. And she'll be fine.
Okay.
I've done many films where an inexperienced first AD will put together a shooting schedule. There's no possible way we could ever shoot the things that he or she was wanting to shoot on those days. It was asinine to even think that we could capture that much footage on a single day.
Stand by, everyone. Picture's gonna be up.
Ask a couple of people if you're not sure about your shooting schedule or why you should shoot this first. Always have a reason why you shoot this, why you shoot that. Should you schedule your shoot improperly, you'll start to feel the effects.
Yeah, I'm gonna lose my voice if y'all don't help me out.
The unfortunate thing is you won't feel the effects as you've scheduled them. You will start to feel those effects as you're shooting them, which is not where you want to have problems. You want to have problems in pre-production and development, and that's those two phases where you can solve those problems without any repercussions. If you're encountering problems in your shooting schedule, you're not going to know about it until you're shooting. And that's where you're going to learn. The good news is that you're going to learn not to do those things again.
And that is a good gate. Thank you for a wonderful day, ladies and gentlemen. That is a wrap.
It's always good to know that you have some cover days, okay? A cover day means that you can shoot inside if it starts raining or if it starts snowing or whatever, and your film doesn't call for rain or snow on those days. You need a cover day where I can on the fly, I can switch this day and go inside and shoot this other scene that I have set up. The cause and effect of a good shooting schedule is that it should never be felt. It's a job you should never notice.
With Big Game, our first AD did a pretty good job in scheduling it. We had some issues that came up during the filming of it. We lost a location, but you can't foresee those things. And we figured it out, and we got the schedule done, and we accomplished what we set out to do. But as you're shooting your movie, and if you don't even notice the schedule, then you've done it right.